Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of TerraVentures. We're here in the shopping district where we are going to be starting or continuing work on our Megastore here. So obviously with the plan is to try and make a diamond making machine here, and to do that we're going to need more. No, we don't want magma blocks there. This is specifically to go up, Death Devil, and this is to go up here. And this one is your downshoot. If you look at it, there's your arrows, see? Up, up. Anyway, we're getting a bit distracted. Do we have any more profit? No, we don't. So, although he may have bought stuff and come down the other way. No, anyway, what do we say? What are we thinking? So, the plan for today is to build a couple more layers, possibly 2 if we can finish it off. And first off, we're going to be starting with building ourselves the next level, which is the Guardian Farm level. So yes, obviously we've got our Guardian Farm shop under the water somewhere where my cursor is now. But the idea of this superstore is to try and put everything into it. So it's a one-stop shop kind of idea. So let's get started. And the idea here now is to just build a bit of a layer. So what I'm thinking, especially for this bit, is to just put a bit of a floor here and then go off. So we'll have several bits and they will have the various things. So we're going to need a lot of dark prismarine, which thankfully we are rectifying that. We're going to have a ink farm, which I actually haven't shown you much recently, or at all actually. So that'll be in operation. We'll be able to sell ink, we'll be able to sell prismarine varieties, and lastly, which is one thing we haven't been able to sell yet, is coral. So we'll be able to do something here. Now the idea I'm thinking of is to start with just a prismarine floor, but to do something similar to the bottom floor and have a floor to ceiling aquarium in the middle, and maybe just with coral inside and no fish, because I think we're going to be really exploiting the mobs if we do more than that. So let's just get started, and let's start by putting all these prismarine slabs in. Okay, now that we've got the floor, we probably should work on our roofing. Oh, sorry, not our roofing, our walls. So what we're going to do is, as normal, we're going to put in the outside walls and work up from there. So we probably should actually do these cladding first and work from there. So what I need to do is get myself some black terracotta, which I have none of in my inventory. And I don't think I've got any in here. No, I don't. Not in there. Not in there. So I reckon I'm going to have to get up into the terracotta level and borrow some. Yes, that's right. Borrow. I'm definitely going to put it back, I think. Hopefully. Maybe. We'll see. Anyway, now that I've acquired some terracotta, I think I'm going to build up this, see how far I can get with the 2 stacks I've got. So I think it's yeah, that's not good at all. Okay, so we've got, I need to make sure not to die either. We've got the 5 here, so we need 6 and 7. So each of these need to be 7 high if we're going to continue with the same scheme. Although I'm not sure I should. Even though I really mainly did this one the way I did because of the windows, but it doesn't have to be that tall at all. So I'm a bit of a difficult decision there. So I've got the 1 there, so we need to go another 6 high if I'm going to continue with the current method of doing things. So let's just build it up and see how it goes. As I'm building this, I just suddenly realized there's a patrol going on here. Hopefully they don't bother me too much, because I don't really want to have to deal with yet another patrol going on, and I think I'm close enough to the village that it's probably going to trigger a raid, which is a little bit annoying. I know I frequently get the patrols back at my own base, and I think I have managed to create a pseudo village there with all the beds and yeah, they are pointing at me, aren't they? Might have to see if I can make sure I can kill this guy without actually triggering a raid, which one of the ways to do that is I've got thorns on me, so I can just let him hit me, or I can... No, come on, no! That's not what I wanted. I wanted to push him off, but I can't quite do that because I don't think I've got a water bucket on me. Where is he? Where did he go? Ah, there he is, and he's dead. Excellent. So I can kill the rest of these guys, and they shouldn't get angry at me. 1, 2, and 3. There we go. Nice and easy. So if you do have thorns on you, you can pretty easily kill these guys. I don't need the crossbows, I don't need the arrows. So let's continue with our work here. Right, so we've now got our walls all built up. I did think of using dark prismarine walls here, but apparently that block doesn't exist, which is a bit of a pity, but it can be rectified. I mean, it can be figured out at some point. So, what we're now working on here is firstly our downshoot, which we need some prismarine things, as you got them, and we just need to build this up in such a way that it looks exactly like the one down here, and we need to make sure that it looks like a down arrow, so something like this, and then the same thing here, and so on and so forth. But the real thing we need to work on, that's not like that. Ah, dang it. Alright, so I just need to get back up there. So the real thing we need to work on is really the thing over here, and now I can't get back up. That's a bit of an annoyance. So we need to, what I was thinking was to make this thing, the base, dark prismarine instead of prismarine, or prismarine varieties I should say, and then to fill this thing with water and put some coral in it. So that I think would work reasonably nicely. So what I need to do firstly is get rid of this thing which I just put in, and then work it out from there. So it's not going to be very big, but we do need a lot more room to make sure we've got room for the prismarine bits that we're selling. So that shouldn't be too bad, I reckon. Let's just get this all sorted, and then we should be able to finish off. We should be able to get this level done. Right, so we've now got ourselves the, what do you call this? The coral aquarium in here. I'm not going to put any fish in because again, we've got quite a bit of fish below, and it's just going to take up a lot of the mobs in here, which we don't really want. We don't want the realm to get any laggier. We've already got heaps of people on at the moment, and it's getting reasonably laggy at times. So we're trying to minimize that as much as possible. So as you can see, I've gone with the cyan glass as normal, because if you're looking from a certain angle, it certainly looks like the cyan is part of the water. So what we need to do now is get ourselves some barrels, just like for the terracotta room. We need to also get ourselves some, what do you call them, item frames, and which we should have some in here, I hope. If not, we're going to have to go back once again to the base and get some more. And it looks like we don't have any item frames, although we do have some leather. It's not going to be enough. So yep, looks like a trip back to the base is in order. We also need to get ourselves some barrels, which we can create pretty easily from these things, which we don't want to use dark oak though, because we're going to need dark oak for the outside cladding. So yep, let's get back to the base. Let's get together up the resources we need, and then get back here and start setting the prices. Okay, so we've now labelled up quite a bit of the things. We've got our corals at 20 diamonds a piece. I haven't yet figured out what I'm going to do with these 3 barrels. I could, I suppose, sell dead coral, but that I don't expect that to sell at all, so that might just have to be something else. And of course, we've got our prismarine tights, which we can get from the Guardian farm. We've got our sea lanterns. We've got prismarine. We've got dark prismarine, ink, and full conduit sets. So these conduit sets, if we have a look at them, have of course a conduit and the 48, I think that's 48 prismarine needed to make a full conduit set. So that should sell quite nicely. Unfortunately, as you just saw, we don't have any prismarine or dark prismarine brick or dark prismarine, which could blunt sales if we're honest. So, oh yeah, and we don't have enough purple coral or yellow coral as well, so we're going to have to go hunting. So for the next little while, I think I'm going to go hunting down for some coral. That might need to be improved, and we're going to go hunting down for some coral and see what we can do. So firstly, actually, I'll repair that. I'll fix up that little chute, because we do not want people dying when they come down. So where's our glass? Well, you just use some purple stained glass to guide people down, which shouldn't take too long. So let's just bring that all the way up. We might need to hop on the lectern, and there we come on, go. I think we'll also do this on this side. Bring it up, and then like this. So this should help people not die. So let's just have a quick test. And there we go. And then we just hop down. Yeah, it should help. I don't know if it actually will guide them any better, but we can only hope. Anyway, so let's go dump our stuff off. Collect that end rod which I moved. Let's go dump the stuff off and then go hunting for coral and then we'll go use the Guardian farm and get ourselves a whole lot of prismarine things, which I'll actually cut to that now. And 2 AFK sessions later, all of which I killed with my sword. So I would let the Guardian spawn and then use a regen potion so I wouldn't die, and just auto-clicked away at the Guardian. So that would mean I would get slightly more drops with the Leeching Sword instead of using the potion of harming. But anyway, I've got all this. So what I want to really do first is use what remaining ink sacs we have to make as many dark prismarine as possible. Although that said, I think there was a chest of it somewhere else, but 20 isn't really a lot. But anyway, we should be able to get a few stacks of each of these things. So let's just make sure we get, let's go for 3 of these. So we'll top up that stack there. So we'll have 3 of the prismarine, which isn't really a lot, but it should be okay. And then we should be able to get about a stack of the other one, of the bricks, a stack and a bit. You can see that it really isn't much. We did two AFK sessions, had about a full chest of prismarine shards, and all we've got to show for it is all this stuff. So let's quickly dump this into the shop, and then we should be able to get started on the second level, or more correctly the 3rd level of the shop, because mainly the main idea here is what I'm going to do is just stock up a bit, and then in between shots or in between episodes I'll be stocking up, doing AFK sessions and all that I really should have used my trident, doing AFK sessions to stock up. So let's have a look. Oof, we've actually stored all of our ink sacs. Actually, I just borrowed 1 so we could make the dark prismarine, but we sold 3 stacks there, so that's really good. How many? 32, so that we don't have quite enough. Given how much it takes, I might have to reduce that price. 20 prismarine. No, what? That's not right. 32 prismarine is 1 diamond. 20 prismarine bricks is 1 diamond. It shouldn't be 32 dark prismarine. It should be a lot less than that. Let's have a look at the prices downstairs and see what we had, and not get blown up by the creeper. We had 16 for a diamond, so that should be 16, not 20. Where's our thing? We don't have it. Anyway, so let's dump this. Where was that from? That's okay, 32, so we'll put in 1, 2, 3. This is in stacks of 20, so we got 1 there. We got 1 there and another couple there. So we've got 4 of those. We have dark prismarine, which I need to relabel. But all in all, okay, there we go. Phew. Into the water. I'm safe. So all in all, we've got a pretty good, reasonable amount of stock there. Although we're going to want a whole stack more, so we don't have to keep refilling this farm every time someone buys just 1 thing. So let's actually get started on the 2nd level for today. Rightio, so now we're back at Outback, and we've now got ourselves our third, or I suppose you could technically call it the fourth layer, but the third above ground layer, and this one is going to be full of bookshelves. So let's just quickly hop into this newly constructed elevator, and it should take us all the way back up to here. It's going to have to go up a couple more blocks, but the idea is, so this is going to be the roof of this prismarine layer. Then, like normal, we're going to have our block bit of difference, and then we're going to have our dark oak wood. I think we're going to go with dark oak and red carpet, something similar to the stuff in a woodland mansion. So we're going to do with that, and we're going to have various rooms up here. So let's, well, we don't exactly have a lot of this dark prismarine left, so we're going to have to possibly hold off on that, but dark oak we should have plenty of, so we should be able to get ourselves a very good start on the dark oak floor. So, and yeah, I've still got to work out a few more bits and bobs, but if we go off to the front once again, it really does start to show the scale of the thing, and I'm starting to think that this front face is probably just a little bit too too short actually, and overall the building might be just a little bit too tall, so we might have to cap it at 4 floors. So I'll have a chat to the Outback guys, and hopefully we can discuss that, because if we definitely want the top floor to be our offices where we can put our various profits and all that. So let's just get on to building that, at least the very least, the floor of the bookshelf floor. Now, this room has now been built. We just need to figure out how we're going to do the books. Of course, there's quite a number of different kinds of book varieties. For example, all the ones for the tools. You can see here, breaking is something that goes in just about everything. Silk touch can only go in certain things. The efficiency can go in certain things. The looting, fortune, and all sorts of things. So what I'm thinking is that there will be various bits. So there will be a bit for the trident, which has various bits here and there. There will be bits for armor and so on and so forth. I need to figure out how I'm going to do that, but I have a suspicion 24 barrels will not be quite enough. What I did think of doing is doing this, but I don't think that's quite going to cut it. So what I could do instead is have something like, well, not cutting that out, but something like a barrel down here facing towards me, and then the bookshelf on top of that, and the bookshelf on top of that, let's get into place, and then the, where is it, the item frame and the book, and a book on top of that. So something like that, and it'll say sharpness underneath, for instance. So that might work quite well. I'm not yet sure how I'm going to do it all. I might use some of the armor things. For example, I might use what do you call it? I might use, what are these things? They're called boots. I might use leather boots, for instance, and say leather boots, and this bit has Frostwalker, for instance. So that might work quite nicely, and then what I can do in between is that, and if I've got enough room, that should work quite nicely. I reckon that could look a little bulked up, but I don't know. We'll have to build quite a few more of these things and figure out how it'll go. Let's get this block and then get started on building this thing up. Okay, with the central bit, at least, or most of it built, I may put one in the middle here if we need the room, but the main idea here is to have the item here, and then it'll say, for example, protection or whatever. So let's have a look. Let's start filling what we need to do first, and I think we've got most of this stuff on here. We need respiration, aqua, and protection. So let's have respiration, and what is the other one? Aqua affinity. Hopefully I spelled that right. In fact, let's just check first. Come on, out of that and put it on there. 2 Fs. Okay. Put that straight back in. And aqua affinity. So that should go something like this. So we'll put there, and then we'll have aqua affinity books here, respiration books here. So let's have a look and see what we can do, and we're going to have to get the same for bows, which require different things, and axes, tridents, and so on and so forth. So this is going to take quite a while to finish off. And so as I wind up this video, we've managed to make quite a bit of progress. We've got ourselves 2 new layers, and that should be able to net us quite a bit of profit, especially the second layer that we've got here, the third layer, can I jump into it? Yes, I can. The coral store. So this one should really net in quite a bit of profit, especially with the sea lanterns. We did sell quite a bit of those, so I'm hoping that that will make a bit of profit. We've still got quite a way to go with the separation of the books, and as you can see, most of these only have 1 or 2 books, and this one actually has a lot more given it's for all types of protection. But we should hopefully be able to make a decent profit on this as well. So that will be it for today's episode. So I hope you've liked this episode, and if you have, remember to leave a like and subscribe. Don't forget to keep watching out for new videos. Goodbye.